Okay, I'm in the test garden for this video, and I'm gonna run the Simplex jacked all the way up with 11-inch coil on it, and I'm gonna run the Anfibio multi in 20 kilohertz, and I'll try it in 14 kilohertz too with the Cruiser SP28 coils. So both these coils are the same size. This one's elliptical, so it's gonna do a little bit better than the iron. And this coil here, they're both 28 centimeter coils here. And I'm in the test garden, and I'll just show you how good the Simplex is, man. Just gonna turn this machine on. The ground is extremely dry here. I'm talking, it's the driest I've ever tested this garden in. I'm not even gonna ground balance it here, right? 8.5 inch clad half dollar right here. '90s, 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 right? In 3-tone, Park 1 mode. I'll go to Park 2 mode. 8.5 inch clad half dollar, just smacking that thing. 90s, 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 90s. And the sensitivity's jacked all the way up. That's how I run the Simplex. Go to Park 1 mode, and I'll put a little marker on it right there. That's the clad half dollar, 8.5 inches deep, about 9 inches deep. So here's that iron quarter, that silver quarter at 8.5, 9 inches deep here, and struggling with it today. In Park 1 mode, I'm not getting very good numbers there, and I'm not getting a very good tone, but if I swing over it fast, I'm not gonna be able to hit it. The ground is just so dry here. It's in Park 1 mode. Here's Park 2 mode. But it's still hitting it. I'm still getting high numbers on it though, if I go slow, if I sweep over it slow. Field mode right here. I'm getting some higher numbers. There's 70s numbers in it, but there's a lot of iron in that hole, a lot of iron. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of square nails all on top of it and around it and stuff. Crazy how the conditions change from day to day in this test garden. And the reason why I have this test garden is because I want to know how my machine is performing in certain conditions, like if the soil's wet, moist, if it's raining out, or if it's super dry out here. That's how I dial my machines in, so I know how to work it in the field. I mean, sure, the field is totally different, but I want to make this, I want to make it so I can hit those coins when I get out the field. I don't have to learn out in the field as much. And this, I just turn it on and just hitting these targets here, you know. Right there, it's a silver quarter, 9 inches deep. And here's that silver nickel, 6 inches deep right here in field mode. I'm getting a grunt. If I'm swinging fast, I get a grunt on it. 6 inches deep, war nickel. I'll go to Park 1 mode. It's right there. I'll go back to field mode, get it over it. It gives me a lot of grunts there. So if I'm swinging fast in field mode, I will not be able to hit that. Field mode is a lot slower recovery speed, a lot slower recovery speed. So I'll go back to Park 1 mode. It's 17, 16, 18, and that's a silver nickel 6 inches deep. So I'll go to Park 2 mode here. It's really liking it in Park 2 mode, reading solid 20s. And here's a silver dime here, Park 2 mode, 6 inches deep, mercury dime, 6 inches deep, and pretty clean soil. I mean, this is fairly clean soil over here. A little bit of iron in this hole here. Park 1 mode. Field mode. I didn't even ground balance it, right? It hits a lot better when I ground balance it, especially in this dry soil here. And now I'll turn the Anfibio on and I'll show you. Same size of coil here. It's just this one is elliptical coil. This elliptical coil does a lot better than the iron. I'll just turn this machine on here and I'll put it in 3-tone. Try to match it up a little bit here. I'll actually put it in I'll start out in 14 kilohertz. 3-tone. And I'm not even jacked up. I'll go here. 3-tone right here. Getting some EMI here, right, with the Anfibio. So I'll jack this all the way up, just like I had the Simplex. I normally don't have this machine jacked all the way up because I get a lot of EMI. And I will ground balance this time because I know the Anfibio, watch this. I have it jacked up too high, right? It's running so unstable right now. See? It's just so unstable. This machine does not run very good at full gain. So I'll drop that sensitivity down a little bit. Right there, we'll shut it up a little bit. See? The Anfibio, you get a lot of EMI if you run high. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Try to match it up a little bit. I have to go down on my gain. I just have to go down on my gain. It just happens a lot to me. You know, I have to adjust the Anfibio a lot. It's not gonna hit that. I'm gonna ground balance. I gotta ground balance. With the Anfibio, you gotta ground balance too. It helped out not one bit. I'm gonna turn the machine off. Turn it back on here. Because they just turn on a machine over there. It's probably gonna go crazy here. Up to 3-tone. That should have shut it up, okay? Now I'll go up on my gain here. Jack it all the way up to 99. Which I usually never have it at. That's clad $half. 9 inches deep. Not gonna do it with my gain all the way up that high. Not gonna do it. So I gotta go down to my normal settings. Usually I'm set at 89 in most conditions. Not gonna hit that clad $half, right? 9 inches deep. Not gonna hit it. Sure, it'll hit it in 4-tone. I'll go down to 4-tone. Watch this. I have to be going super slow. I'm not gonna be swinging this slow the whole time when I'm metal teching, right? When I'm swinging. You know, you're always having to push buttons with the high-end machines. If you don't, you're just gonna struggle a lot with them, man. Yeah, it's crucial that you dial in your high-end machines. And this is why I have the test garden. You know, I'm just dialing it in. I'm learning how to use the machine in the test garden. You know, this is only a demonstration. You know, this isn't... Drop the gain down here so I can talk here. This is only a demonstration. This is not the real world. The real world is where you're out detecting, and the conditions change so much out there too. That's why I hit spots over and over and over again with different detectors, different coils, different settings, different frequencies. That's how you get a lot of stuff, is if you have different detectors and different coils. So it's right there somewhere, okay? I'll come back to that one right there. But watch this. I have it in 3-tone. I haven't ground balanced yet. I will ground balance, because I know the Anfibio, you gotta ground balance with it. Look at that, smacking it. I'm not getting any numbers on it because I'm in 3-tone, but I usually hunt in 3-tone. I just get a lot less nails in 3-tone. In 4-tone, you have to swing a lot slower and you're getting a lot of deep iron. So I'll stick it in 4-tone, it'll smack it. But I'm swinging slow. Usually when I'm in 4-tone, I'm swinging slower because I want to recover those deeper targets. And I've had a few Anfibios in this test garden and a few Simplexes in this test garden. And the Simplex has outperformed the Anfibio at all times, every single setting with the Anfibio. But out in the real world, it's totally different, man. This Anfibio is going to do a lot more than the Simplex can do, because I get a lot of EMI with that Simplex there. And I can swing a lot faster with that Simplex though. So it's not gonna hit it super good, but in 3-tone, I'm hitting it really good. There's a lot of iron in here, a lot of iron in that hole right there. Now I'll come over this shallow stuff here. Watch this. Solid signal, solid. I can swing this thing as fast as I want. The Anfibio is so good at nickels, man. It's just solid. Solid tone, man. 6-inch silver nickel. Just very, very good. Very good tone. So you know, that's why I'm always adjusting settings. I go through an area and then I adjust my settings, and I go through it again, then I adjust my settings, go through it again, and then I switch my coils, go through it again, you know, go through it back and forth, just rotating around in circles. And here's that dime. Hitting it very, very hard, just in 3-tone stock, you know, with my gain down to 89. So there's a lot of differences between these machines. I'm not going to say that one machine is better than the other, but I use them for different reasons. And I have multiple machines with multiple coils because that's how you get more stuff out of the ground. It all matters on what machine you're using for certain conditions, and it matters what coil you're using for those certain conditions. And every time I go out, I take multiple machines with me with multiple coils on each detector, so I can see what setup is going to work the best. And I'm changing settings, changing modes. Usually in the Simplex, I just leave it in Park 1 mode. I am changing between modes every once in a while with the Simplex, because it's just so simple. I mean, you seen that? You saw that? With the Anfibio, I'm pushing a lot of buttons, so I'm spending time pushing a lot of buttons, and I'm not digging, I'm not sweeping, I'm not swinging my coil, I'm just pushing buttons. So I'll just turn this machine on, and I'll actually ground balance it. It'll hit it a little bit better here. I'll show you, man. I'll go to Park 1 mode, and I'll hit this clad $50 here. Just bam, bam, bam. And these are the same size coils. But if there's some iron in that hole right there, if there's some iron in that hole, that coil with that setup is going to outperform the Anfibio or the Simplex. So here's that clad, or here's that silver quarter with all the iron in it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of, you know, that the thing I was telling you about.
80s, 4, 4, 7. It's just reading all the iron in there. It's a lot of iron and square nails, just crusty, rusty square nails in that hole there. So there we go. And the reason why I use this test garden is just only for testing my machine, you know. I'm not digging that hole. I know how deep it is. I know what angle it is. I know how much iron's in the hole there. But these two machines are very good machines. I mean, I use them a lot. And I think the Simplex is really good at taking out to a site that you've never been to before. But I would definitely bring a backup. I always bring backups, because in many cases I've taken the Simplex out the spot and it just doesn't perform like if I'm locating like sprinkler heads for somebody or boundary markers, this machine is going to do better because I get a lot of EMI. If I'm downtown and I'm trying to locate sprinkler heads, this thing, I've just had so many situations where this thing will just not do it downtown because there's so much EMI. With the Anfibio, I can change frequencies, I can change tone breaks, I can really change a lot with this machine here. And I have the ISAT, so if I get in some hot soil like in South Salem there's a lot of red soil there. The Simplex won't do the red soil. And if it's mineralized ground, I haven't found a way to get away from You know, the Simplex doesn't really do really good in super hot ground. The Anfibio does, because I have so many adjustments there. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe.